I think one of the things we need to do is to take the budgeting process away from Treasury, maybe into Presidency or any form of those things, where we say, this is what we want, this is what we're budgeting for and all of that. And then they must pay. Because if you take the whole program of action of the EFF and say, this is our program, this is how much we're going to spend on this program and all of that, you take all of that responsibility, you give it to a TG, you won't get a cent out of it. So you're going to look at that thing and say, there's no money. No, there's no money. So the people who are tasked to pay are very difficult people to pay. They don't just pay. So those things, I think they need to be run separately so that once we're done, we give them. There must be a political mandate that says, here are the things that you must finance. And then no one can question us about that because we've got a lawful mandate. If the law doesn't allow us, we'll amend the law to make sure that it meets this requirement, because this country is being held back by Treasury. Yeah, it's being held back. And everybody is very scared of that Treasury. Very scared of that Treasury. So we can't have that to a point where the ANC admit that they have no control over Treasury for the past 31 years. Because we're told this thing of budgeting was done differently before 1994. It started being operated like this after 1994. Why? They knew that they must capture the Treasury. Even if these ones capture the political power, they must still go through us. So we need to liberate and transform that Treasury. We propose the following key measures. 1, reject the VAT increase and protect poor and working class households. 2, adjust personal income tax brackets by 4.5% to prevent bracket creep and protect wage earners. Increase corporate income tax from 27% to 28.5% in 2025-2026 and to 30.5% in 2026-2027, targeting highly profitable corporations. Introduce a wealth tax on underutilized and luxury land holdings to raise at least 7.5 billion annually. Implement an apartheid wealth tax on pre-1994 trust to generate a once-off revenue of 30 billion to 50 billion. Introduce an annual levy on inherited wealth exceeding 10 million, estimated to raise 10 to 20 billion annually. Allocated an additional 4 billion in 2025-2026 to strengthen SARS capacity to combat illicit financial flows and recover unpaid taxes. Launch a 512 billion fiscal stimulus program over 3 years to fund infrastructure, frontline employment, reindustrialization, and rural development. Amend the Division of Revenue Bill to increase local government funding without reducing essential allocations for health, education, and basic services in provinces. These proposals reflect a credible, progressive, and transformative approach to fiscal policy. Unlike the National Treasury's austerity-driven framework that sought to balance the budget on the backs of the poor and working class. However, because the ANC no longer enjoys a majority in Parliament and its committees, it chose to undermine democracy and the law by steamrolling the 2025 fiscal framework. We emphasize, while the VAT increase was a particular trigger, the entire 2025 budget, as formulated by the Minister of Finance, is fundamentally flawed. The National Treasury's neoliberal dogma, obsession with austerity, and blind loyalty to the white capitalist establishment have no place in South Africa's current economic realities. The EFF has consistently led from the front in Parliament and society. In the 7th Parliament, we recommended ourselves to be effective and constructive opposition. This is evident in our Back to School campaign by all elected public representatives, our superior contribution during the State of the Nation Address debate, our exposition of corruption during the National Youth Development Agency interviews, our introduction of the student debt cancellation bill, our leadership in exposing illegal parliamentary process, and now our victory in resetting the 2025 budget process at a defining moment for South Africa. This makes us, from yesterday, the official opposition party in South Africa. The EFF will continue to act with strategic clarity, revolutionary discipline, and unwavering commitment to the poor and working class to defend, rebuild, and advance the struggle for economic freedom.